What is going on, everyone? It's TM Cycles here with a slightly different video today. I'll be doing a supplement review by a brand called Optimum Nutrition, who, if you are into your fitness and bodybuilding, you should have heard of them by now. They're a very big and successful supplementation company. The review is on their Serious Mass, which is their version of a weight gain product. And as weight gainers go on the market, it's probably one of the best out there in terms of calorie content, protein and other ingredients they've added into it. I've never been a huge fan of weight gainers, mainly because a lot of people that do take weight gainers will look at the high calorie content and think, right, fuck it, it's packed full of calories, I don't need to eat lunch, and they'll use that, which I'm very against. I'm very against people supplementing with powders and fucking bars instead of having meals. So it's something I always tell people that come into GNC and say, you know, have you got a meal replacement? I'd say, well, never take anything that replaces a meal. But I decided to take it. It was during the last few weeks of my bulk, so I thought, you know, I looked a bit fluffy. My abs had gone. I thought, let me just see what happens whilst I'm on it. I was on about 3,000 calories anyway. No, sorry, not that much. Not that little. Sorry, I was on about 3,500 calories anyway, which is enough calories for me to bulk on. So adding that into the mix bumped me up to about 4,400, 4,500. Yeah, it's a really good product. I saw some good results from it. Nothing like results you'd see whilst you're on cycle, in terms of size and strength and stuff, but you know, it was good. I'll read you the nutritional information which is on the back. It's per 2 scoops. Now the scoop in this is fucking massive. It's like a little mini trowel that you'll get in home base in the gardening shop. It's a big fucker. A lot of powder in there. It's 2 of them scoops, and for every 2 scoops you get is 1,252 calories, 4.8 grams of fat, and this is where the majority of the calories come from, is the carbs. So it's 252 grams of carbs. So you've got a big serving there. You got 50 grams of protein, and then you've got a bunch of vitamins and minerals and all that shit. It comes with creatine and L-glutamine in there, along with a lot of weight gainers that have started doing that, adding creatine into it, but it's never enough. It's always like 2 grams or 2 or 3 grams, which is never enough really. So I'd always recommend supplementing with creatine or L-glutamine or whatever you want to take separately. Taste, very nice. I got the chocolate flavour, tasted very well. Mixability was surprisingly well for the amount of powder. I could put one of them in a shaker and actually shake it and I'd get no lumps. I tended to blend it up again. I tended to put it in my blender now and again if I wanted to put some like peanut butter in there and banana in there. So taste good, mixability very good, results, I say yeah they were good, quite good results. So if you are looking for a weight gainer, I would recommend probably taking Optimum Nutrition Serious Mass. I get a lot of questions from people and subscribers asking whether I think weight gainers are a good idea to have whilst on cycle, and also are they a good idea if you're not on cycle. I'll address it from the point of view if you are taking steroids. For me anyway, whilst I was on cycle, I was very hungry all the time, so my appetite has shot up. So taking something like a weight gainer which had plenty of calories in there is probably a good idea, because it's hard on the wallet when you are on cycle in terms of food, you know, buying sort of meats, chicken, steak, tuna and stuff like that. But like I said before, I'd never rely on it. I'd never sort of quit lunch or breakfast and have a weight gainer instead. So when you're on cycle as well, your intensity of your workouts are very high, depending on what you're taking. So the added amount of carbs in a weight gainer could be very beneficial. When I was taking the product, I was taking a scoop pre and a scoop post. The serving size is 2, but I'd never put 2 in there because that definitely wouldn't mix. But I'd have 1 pre and 1 post, which a lot of people which say they do as well. People who aren't on cycle email me as well just to ask about my opinions on weight gainers, and I tell them the same thing. Never replace it for a meal. They also get worried about the high carb content. You know, they say, "I want to take a weight gainer because of the calories, but it's got 250 grams plus carbs in. Do you think this is a good idea?" Depending on what you're eating throughout the day, I wouldn't recommend having something like a weight gainer which has 250 grams of carbs in, and then having an excess of, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred carbs from pastas, breads, rice. But it's up to you, because you can still make adequate gains without a weight gainer. You know, if you looked at the carb content, the protein content, and the fat content, and it's equal to 1,250 calories, you can easily get that from Uncle Ben's rice, a couple of packets from Uncle Ben's rice, a bit of steak from the protein and fat as well. So it's not a necessity. So it's just about implementing the carbs correctly, maybe around training time. I know a lot of people that have got an annoying body type where they can take in a shitload of carbs and not get fat. I'm quite the opposite. If I go, above a certain amount of carbohydrates, mainly 250, I will start putting on a lot of fat, and I'll get that fluffy look, and it's not too pleasant. But yeah, in terms of a weight gainer, if anyone's looking for it, I would recommend taking Serious Mass by Optimum Nutrition. As I said before, it tastes good, mixability is good. So yeah, all in all, a very good weight gainer. Hope that's been beneficial for anyone that's looking for weight gainers. Give me an email if you've got any more questions, or if I haven't addressed anything that you've asked me before. Keep your eyes peeled for a couple of gym videos with my training partner. He's currently on cycle as well at the moment. So I want to get him here to sort of do an interview about how his cycle's going as well. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled out for that. Cheers for watching, and yeah, see you soon.